In programming, C++ always has a separate standard among all programming languages. While language C, dealing with the procedural-oriented programming, C++ is the first language which emphasizes object-oriented programming. C++ is like the ancestor of present-day programming languages dealing object-oriented programming. So, that is all the gist of the C++. Without delaying, let us get into it. What is the need for object-oriented programming? Object-oriented programming was developed because limitations were discovered in earlier approaches to programming. To appreciate what OOP does, we need to understand what these limitations are and how they arose from traditional programming languages. What are the problems with the procedural-oriented programming approach? A program in a procedural language is a list of instructions. There are two related problems. First, functions have unrestricted access to global data. Second, unrelated functions and data, the basis of the procedural paradigm, provide a poor model of the real world. In a large program, there are many functions and many global data items. The problem with the procedural paradigm is that this leads to an even larger number of potential connections between functions and data. This large number of connections causes problems in several ways. First, it makes a program's structure difficult to conceptualize. Second, it makes the program difficult to modify. A change made in a global data item may necessitate rewriting all the functions that access that item. The second, and more important, problem with the procedural paradigm is that its arrangement of separate data and functions does a poor job of modeling things in the real world. In the physical world we deal with objects such as people and cars. Such objects aren't like data and they aren't like functions. Complex real-world objects have both attributes and behavior. Attributes. Examples of attributes are, for people, eye color and job title, and, for cars, horsepower and number of doors. As it turns out, attributes in the real world are equivalent to data in a program, they have a certain specific values. Behavior. Behavior is something a real-world object does in response to some stimulus. Behavior is like a function. You call a function to do something and it does it. So neither data nor functions, by themselves, model real-world objects effectively. The object-oriented approach. The fundamental idea behind object-oriented languages is to combine into a single unit both data and the functions that operate on that data. Such a unit is called an object. Data encapsulation and data hiding are key terms in the description of object-oriented languages. Data and its functions are said to be encapsulated into a single entity.